Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Kamhi, Vice President of Experience over at Paro, to discuss why investing in finance and accounting is essential for sustaining business growth. Matt, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about the recently conducted study by Paro on how companies are investing in finance and accounting. What were some of the major findings?
So we conducted a financial maturity study all throughout 2022, and we were trying to poll senior finance executives to explore all of the obstacles that they face in their role and how they attempt to overcome these obstacles, including focusing on investing in finance and accounting resources and functions.
Why is this significant for business leaders?
It's significant because business leaders demonstrate a need and a focus that they need to have enough resources allocated to finance and accounting, which can be described as the lifeblood of business growth. And at Paro, we don't believe that it's a coincidence that we uncovered that there's a significant investment gap when it comes to what executives say that they focus on in terms of profitability and what they need to grow their business.
What challenges do executives face as a result of this gap between desired investment in growth and how companies are able to allocate their resources?
Yeah, this absolutely impacts every senior executive's everyday role. We found in the study that there's a low bandwidth to take on new opportunities at the senior executive level, and that responds to investor demands in a strategic advisory capacity for decision-making for the most common challenges that executives struggle with. So to combat these challenges, executives typically turn to finance service providers to provide and to fill in strategic needs for when these pressing needs arise. So whether an organization is struggling with an internal bandwidth, or they need for strategic advisory, or even larger external factors like profitability, financial service providers can provide varying levels of knowledge that help augment a company's existing capabilities.
Right, and let's talk about the resource of labor. Did the study produce any findings that discuss the trend of workforce shortages?
Totally. So with regard to the workforce, our study found that 39% of senior finance executives said staffing, hiring, and retention are main obstacles for growing a business. And naturally, a large majority of them, almost 79%, are willing to increase their company's headcount to take advantage of surges or expansion to their solutions and offerings, but only 16% are doing it right now. So this shows another big gap between what senior finance executives say that their companies need to do to grow versus what the company is actually doing with their resource allocation.
So Matt, how are companies addressing the challenge of staffing and retention in finance and accounting departments because there's so much competition for the talent?
Yeah, great question. So nearly 70%, 69% in our study of senior finance executives say that their companies are relying on fractional resources to effectively operate their finance and accounting teams. Only 19% actually say that their finance and accounting team is fully composed of dedicated full-time resources. So flexible operational models are extremely valuable in this time, and even more critical when there's even more economic uncertainty. So it's no shock that a large percentage of companies are deploying fractional resources to help ensure that their finance and accounting teams, again, the lifeblood of a company's growth, stay effective. So companies that deploy an agile talent management strategy that employs both full-time and fractional resources really allows those executives to navigate economic challenges and achieve their full-time or their long-term growth goals.
All right, Matt, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks for having me, Jill.